angels, welcome back to another video with the Lecture Soul. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual life coach, and just a spiritual girl putting everybody on alongside a whole lot of other things. But today in this video, guys, guess what we are going to be talking about? As you are a conscious manifester, as you are consciously manifesting through your law of assumption journey, whatever it is that you could be doing for yourself in your reality, I want y'all to understand that the pressure, there is none. Okay, that's the point of this video. It's to let y'all know and to remind y'all that this imaginary pressure that you have invented for yourselves is entirely not needed. Like, we don't need that shit. It's not anything that you should ever be submitting yourself towards, especially when you are so limitless in this nature. I need you guys to really remember for yourselves that there is no race, there's no anything, there's no one telling you gotta get this shit down and that's it, or anything. I mean, except for me, but you know, even in that case, I'm always telling y'all in the way that it works best for you. You know, move comfortably, move well, be confident in everything that you do. But of course, guys, some people tend to have here a lot of this imaginary kind of belief that they have to get things done in a certain way, in a certain fashion, at a certain time, and if they don't, they deem themselves a failure. Okay, so let's look at it from the outside in. As someone who doesn't do that herself, at least not anymore, because I used to do that quite often, to be completely honest with you guys, but as someone who is completely disconnected from that mindset now, I can look down and I can easily see whoever it is that is being very hard on themselves in the way that they're just not taking it easy at all. Okay, they're consciously manifesting what they want, but literally at what cost? Okay, you're stressing yourself out, you're crying, you're freaking out, you're spiraling, you're wavering like crazy. And just up here, the mentality needs to be set in your highest favor, because you driving yourself crazy in whichever way, shape, or form, it's not cutting it any longer. And I need you guys to remember through this reminder, which this video is going to be a simple reminder for y'all just need to watch it back whenever you need that confidence boost, and reminder for yourselves that there's no pressure here at all. Remember, guys, everything that you're doing when you're manifesting what you want and what you will, you are perfect. Okay, you got to just consider that done already. You're perfect within yourself. You have everything that you want. All things are coming together for you effortlessly because you said so, and that is it. And the most important point is that it is allowed to be this easy. Whoa, exactly. It is allowed to be as easy as you are claiming it to be for somebody like yourself, because you deserve things to be at ease in this lifetime. You deserve to have everything that you want just gravitate towards you at the speed of light, because it's you. You are somebody who gets everything that you want simply because you are deciding on that thing, just because you have decided. And just like that, my love, with your understanding of this, with your persistency in this, with your consistency behind the fact that absolutely I have nothing to prove to anyone, I got this in the bag, it's already done, just like that, you will see just how much quicker you will manifest what you want. You want to know why? It's because you're taking off that enormous pressure off of the belief that you need to get things down in a certain way or fashion. You absolutely do not. As somebody who gets to effortlessly create everything that you have within this reality, as somebody who gets to decide the way that your days go, the way that you live your life, the way that you look, the way that you are, the way that you think and feel, everything that you want within yourself and other people around you, I just need you all to remember that at the end of the day, you are still a complete and total success story within yourself. You're still walking through these halls knowing, yeah, I'm a success story. I got this down in my bag, you feel me? Down pat for real. You have everything that you want. There is no need for you to be applying some sort of stress factor here, because a lot of times, and no, I'm gonna cut that back. There's not a lot of times, baby, but in the past, I've definitely seen more times than not, which thankfully I haven't seen this recently, which makes me very happy. But in the past, I would see things where people were literally stressing out beyond words. And I will say that ever since I became more, I guess, open with my law of assumption journey, which I've always been open, but I guess you could say ever since I became even more limitless minded through my law of assumption journey, I will say that I haven't seen nearly as many people spiraling, at least under my YouTube comments, like before. I remember I used to see that a lot. Not that the people weren't trying, of course, everybody tries and everybody gets what they want always, but it was more in the sense at that time that I felt like people were kind of overthinking it a lot, and they just didn't know what to do. And now that I'm laying down everything, like every piece of everything that I've been through, everything that I think about with this, even little things like this. For example, today I literally channeled to make a video like this. Okay, so what I did is I sat down and I said, show me what kind of video I should make today when I talk about the law of assumption, and I saw about taking off pressure, because I feel like what I was being told is that there are a lot of people in this reality, which no, there's not, but there are some people who just tend to let it be everything that they don't want to consume. You know what I'm saying? Like, they let all of the rocks pile up on them, and it shouldn't be that way, especially not for somebody like yourself, where it just doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be as scary as you thought that it was. It doesn't have to be as crazy. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be as simple as you're stating that it is. And this imaginary pressure that you've put onto yourself, I want you guys to understand that that comes from a low self-worth perspective, where you think that you need to make up for something in your reality. You have to prove it to yourself that you can do it. And if you feel like you haven't done that in an efficient manner at an efficient time as well, then you will consider yourself a failure. But the thing is that you're giving yourself unrealistic expectations in the way, not saying, guys, that anything that you set on yourselves is unrealistic, because all of it is realistic, but I'm saying for these specific people, sometimes the expectations that they put on themselves are purposely planted there so that they can deem failure when the time comes for it, because they expect failure. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of something that people do whenever they feel like they don't have a high self-concept, because they don't feel as though, oh yeah, you know, I can take this day by day, I can make it really easy and fun for myself. No, they think I have to suffer a little bit, or I gotta suffer somewhere, or I have to struggle somehow, because if not, then it's not worth it. But that's not true. You deserve to have things very easy within your reality. Even if you are somebody who is manifesting a lot of wonderful things, and you know that you are manifesting having things with ease, you know, letting things be very simple for yourself, I want y'all to understand that even from that perspective, some people don't even realize that they're not fully comfortable with that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't feel as though this is something that they can just, oh yeah, absolutely, I deserve it. I know I deserve it now, so that's it. No, sometimes what people do is they'll say, I deserve it, but they don't actually believe that. So they unintentionally make things a little bit harder for themselves than it has to be while they're manifesting what they want. They stress themselves out a little bit more than they should. They kind of monitor everything that they think about, everything that they talk about. If they're not thinking or assuming in favor of that desire right now, then oh my god, I don't have it. Like, all of these things that have nothing to do with your desire at the end of the day, because all of these things that you're doing in between is just, this is what you're doing. Like, you're going up and down on a mountain, okay? You can keep it like this if you want it to be like that, just straightforward, straight to the point. You want it, you got it, just like that. But sometimes people feel like they have to punish themselves in some way, unintentionally, and I would know this because I've been there myself. Like, this was literally me. I remember that there was a point in which I was unintentionally making this way harder for myself, giving myself imaginary pressure as though there was an audience watching me manifest, and there wasn't, okay? No matter who you are, even as someone on the internet or someone in real life, whoever you could be somebody very well known, there is still not an audience out there waiting for you to manifest what you want and what you will. That is imaginary. That will always be imaginary, unless you're gonna sit here and we announce it and then you have a lot of expectation on yourself for that purpose, okay. But in other factors, there's just not ever gonna be that. Like, literally, it's never gonna happen that way unless you make it that way. And for someone like myself who had to learn a lot of life lessons through manifesting, conscious manifesting, the law of assumption, all of that great stuff, I can easily tell you guys that it's worth everything for y'all to just keep it that simple. It does not have to be any more complicated than you just saying, I have what I want, and that is freaking it, and then going about your day and understanding, okay, that will manifest what I want, because why would it not? It's just common sense. Like, to me, it is just common sense. I just feel like there is no reason as to why you would want to be stressed out in this way or any other way, you know what I'm saying, and trying to make it so much heavier on your mind than it has to be. Just keep it mad simple. No matter what it is that you're saying that you have, understand you do actually have those things. Everything that you're saying that you have, I promise you, is materializing right before your very eyes, because why would it not be? Everything that you're claiming is making a way to you right now, even if you don't understand how, it actually is. And the best part about that is that you can actually trust that this is true, because that is what you deserve. As a person as powerful as yourself, remember guys, you have to stay on top of the pedestal that you have created for yourself, because if it's not you, then who's stepping on it? Like, you're not gonna let anyone else take your pedestal, right? Absolutely not. And as someone who, I mean, I never let anyone take my pedestal, but I can tell you guys that I feel like I was robbing my own spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't letting myself shine truly in my reality because I was so anxious about all of these ups and downs that literally did not even exist. How can I stress out in a reality that was meant for me? Like, dead ass, think about it, guys. I know that a lot of times, or sometimes, I'm not gonna say a lot because it's just something that I see, and I honestly feel like I see these things because I'm definitely I am like a world's helper and healer, you know, things like that. So I feel like I'm showing certain people's mindsets so that I can understand what I'm kind of dealing with here. But I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I do see a lot of people online with very much limiting beliefs. I honestly don't fully feel like they actually even believe what they're saying. I feel like it is just a limiting belief for themselves. themselves. Like, they don't actually believe that they're worthless or they can't do anything or whatever. I don't believe that they actually believe that. I believe that that's their ego telling them, and they might believe their ego for now, but deep down inside they know what the truth is. But the point is that I will see something where, for example, people will say that they were just placed on this earth and it was against their will, and that they, you know, like, it's kind of like a game, you feel me? Like, they're just a player in a game and their life is a joke and all this other stuff. And every time I see things like that, of course I can't respond to everybody, so I don't, and this is not under my comment section, it's just things that I see under different posts and things like that. Maybe even under a positive post I'll see like some pessimistic things, which I do understand why, you know, they're venting in a way. But when I see things like that, all I think to myself is that this is not the correct way to go about these things. But of course these people will find their way. I totally have faith in that. Of course I manifested that. I always do. Every single time I see anything suffering in this world, it's always manifested where things are working out for them now. Like, I refuse and rebuke anything else because I don't want these people or animals or anything to experience less than best. So I always set my intention very strongly, and I know that it makes a difference. And that right there is my powers, because I know it makes a difference. It does. But yes, okay, so again, the point is that I will see things like that where it's almost like they were placed into a reality that they didn't want to be placed into, and now they're struggling because of that placement. And I want y'all to understand that even if it does appear that way, you know, even if you are struggling as a college student, if you're going through a lot with your health, if you're facing all kinds of different things in your reality that feel like a lot of pressure on yourselves, please remember that you always have the choice to perceive things in a different light, thankfully for yourself, where things can turn around for you. You know, it's actually something that today I was online, I was on TikTok, and I remember that somebody said under the comments that they had cancer, and they basically said that they had cancer, but they know that they can get through this because they know that this is just making them stronger, in that sense that they feel like they're literally being uplifted. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are being brought to a bigger light. They did also mention God, and they mentioned the fact that, you know, they feel like they're strong, like, regardless of this. And there were a lot of supporting comments, which made me very happy. But the point of that as well is that that perspective right there is the right perspective to go about these things, because even then, that's absolutely correct. This person is getting stronger. They have set an intention for themselves to see not even just the bright side of things. You know, some people think that they hear that like, oh, it's just false hope, you're just being optimistic for yourself, whatever. No, these things actually cause a difference. Like, they make a shift in your reality, they make a shift in your mindset, they make a shift for your health. It just makes everything better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't sit here and say, well, whatever, I can't even think of a negative quote because I just don't have that in me. But place negative quote here, no, I don't think so. Like, we're not gonna settle with that kind of energy, because that does not make anything better. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm making this video today. It's to let y'all know that this imaginary pressure that y'all got on yourselves, which neither of y'all do, no one here does, but some of that imaginary pressure that's placed onto themselves, literally placed onto themselves, that is something that you have to remove tumultuously, okay? ASAP, get that shit out. Like, I don't want to see it, I don't want to hear it, I don't want you to consume yourselves into a reality that does not make you as happy as you can be, because y'all know that even for yourselves, it comes to a point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say what you say at first and you can feel bad for yourself or whatever, but you get to a point where you're gonna get tired of that shit. You know, you're either gonna get tired of it or you're gonna go deeper. And I've never been the type to stick around for people who intentionally go deeper on that stuff, because it is extremely draining. Like, it is not something that anyone wants to be around, including that person themselves. You know, their own soul is like, please water me, but they're not even listening because they don't want to feel that way. And even for themselves, it's like they might feel like it's very difficult, but we can always stand up on top of business. Like, if we really decide to make a shift and a difference for ourselves in our realities, we will make one. We will always make one, and that is with the intention alone. And this is coming from somebody who used to victimize myself like crazy, baby. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, it was not light over here. It was very dark. And yes, I felt like the biggest victim. I really thought that I was like, not cursed, but shit, I might as well have been, right? It's almost crazy talking about this now after so much time, because I used to talk about this with y'all so freaking much, but now I've grown so far past that I honestly, like, low-key, I remember it, of course, and I remember the feeling, but I don't enjoy talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm moving past the time that I would talk about it as much as I did, because I just feel like I'm past that point. But I do, of course, very much sympathize with that energy, all right? And that's exactly why I'm just gonna remind y'all again and let y'all know today that as you are doing what you're doing, as you are manifesting what you're manifesting, as you're being that bitch, as you're dominating your reality as perfectly as you do, no matter what you're going through, no matter the ups and downs, lefts and rights that you feel like you are experiencing within this reality, reality, please remember that you can always and still do get every single thing that you want in your life. Every single thing that you want, I promise you guys, you are granted that thing. Please learn to have faith in yourself. Please learn to trust yourself. Please learn to have confidence, patience, support for yourself. Indulge in your power and see it for what it is, because that is helping you a much ton. I was gonna say an F ton, a fudge ton, baby. It's helping you a fudge ton, because that is what you deserve above everything else in this life, okay? No matter what it is, y'all do not want to be the kinds of people who sit here and just let things happen to you. You're not that kind of person. You are someone who takes control in your reality because you should, because you know that you're supposed to. And alongside that, because you've taken off this pressure, you can easily go in on you manifesting what you want without thinking that there are different eyes staring at you, a bunch of billions of different eyes making sure that you're actually manifesting what you want. Even the eyes in your head, that's really what I'm getting at, because no one's out here watching. It's really what you think about up here, all right? Stop giving yourself pressure, even from your past versions of yourself, where you think to yourself, oh, but you know, I would be so disappointed in myself. I am so disappointed. This version of myself wouldn't have been so proud of me right now, babe. Like, no one's thinking about that stuff. Let it go. You get me? If you felt like you were more powerful in the past and you're not as powerful anymore, that's cap, okay? You just need to shift your perspective a little bit, but you are still very much as powerful as you have always been, because there's not a reason as to why you would not be. And alongside that, you're also the most powerful source in this reality. You're the one who feeds everything. You're the one who waters all that shit. You feel me? Like, I'm wearing blue, babe, water. Like, hello. You know, you're watering that for real, because why would you not be? This is all about you. And if you really do need that help and focus for you to stay as on top of your business as you possibly can be, all I'm going to ask you to do is to just remind yourself what the truth is. And that right there has been an enormous help that still helps me to this day. Anytime that I feel as though I am wavering or anything, which I don't ever feel that way, thankfully. Like, I literally never do anymore, thankfully. And it's because I'm so embedded very strongly in my mindset, because I've implemented this so strongly for myself, is that you just got to correct yourself. That's it. It's literally mental diet. Watch your mental diet, saturate your mind as easily as that. You see the simple terms. It sounds kind of scary in some sense, right? When you hear from a law of assumption perspective, but it is as simple mental diet as just watching what you say to yourself up here. Anytime that you say something that you don't like, saturate your mind by repeating affirmations or telling yourself something that is true, as opposed to anything else that does not make you happy. So if you want the best of the best, you're not going to sit here and feed the worst of the worst. You're going to correct your mind to assume the best of the best. And that right there is what's going to help you believe in that. And then you're going to get even stronger in that belief. And then you're going to see it manifest. And just like that, oh my goodness, exactly. You don't need to see it to believe it. You just got to believe it to see it. And you best believe that you are already there with that. So there's no reason to allow this kind of like earthquakey tension, pressure, all up on you, babe. Like, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. You really don't need that, okay? Continue doing what you're doing. Keep on manifesting what you're manifesting. Have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that it's all coming together one way or another, because it actually is. And I know that this video is going to help plenty, which makes me very happy. So do it. Like, listen to me. Repeat it to yourself. And remember, if you ever thought you were alone in this, you're not. You have never been alone in this. This is something I have experienced for years, okay? For days, babe. Like, very much so. It's something that I will never forget. I'm also that kind of person that can experience something like 15 years ago and I will still remember exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? I don't really love when adults seem to forget things that hurt them at one point. Like, sometimes some adults totally forget that they were like really depressed over something and they just don't remember it because I think it hurts them. So whenever they see someone else depressed, they're kind of like, get over it, this, that, but they don't remember that they went through the exact same thing or something similar. And that right there is something that I think we just need to like hold on to. Not hold on to the pain, but hold on to the sympathy of that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the sympathy of me knowing that there are definitely people out here, or no, there's not actually. No, the fuck there's not. But there have been people out here who had struggled like I did. And that, you know, of course in the past would hurt me a lot. But I understood, no way. If there's someone like me who worked past all of that stuff, I can definitely help as many people as possible. So that's what I'm gonna do. And just like that, I'm gonna use my experiences to help you guys out in letting y'all know that there's really nothing to worry about at all ever. Really, there's not. Everything that you want is coming together for you. Even if you're manifesting on a time crunch, please do not assume failure ever. Like, don't ever assume that, oh, I didn't get it done by this day, so I can't freaking manifest or whatever. Like, that is BS. It's cap. It's not true, because that's just not true. It's not the reality for somebody like yourself. So even if that were to ever be the case, if you're manifesting on a time crunch, or even if you're telling yourself, which if you are someone who does give yourself a lot of imaginary pressure, one of the biggest things you might say to yourself is, I gotta manifest this by next week or else type. You You know, you might say something like that, and that is not true. Like, you don't have to manifest anything by next week. You can, to prove it to yourself, but if you're going to be doing that by next week and you're going to be like monitoring yourself to a point of being stressed out, that's not enjoyable. And you're probably, I'm not going to say you're probably not going to manifest it, but you could unintentionally not manifest it, not because you are so overwhelmed by what you're manifesting, as opposed to just knowing and trusting in that. It's like you're obsessed with the end result, but you're not focusing on the now. Like, you're not focusing on how you're thinking about it, on how you're feeling. You're just focused on, what if I don't have it by next week? What if it doesn't happen? Okay, it has to happen. It has to happen. You sound like you're deranging yourself, bro. Like, you don't want to sound that crazy to yourself because you don't deserve to feel that way. You understand? Exactly. So with that being said, that's why you got to take it back a notch and understand it's all coming together anyway. It's nothing to worry about. You have no fear over anything. Everything just is what you're saying that it is. And in Jesus' name, my love, it is already done, and so it is for real. You already know what the tea is. I love y'all more than anything. Thank y'all so freaking much for watching today's video. It was so much fun to make, to just go in. I literally couldn't believe it. I'm at 21:45 right now, 21 minutes and 45 seconds. I cannot believe I talked that much already. That's crazy to me. You know, I thought it was gonna be like way less than that. I always think that, but it never is. But it's so cool to me that I can just keep talking and talking and talking and yapping all kinds of different advice because I love it. It makes me very happy. And if you're listening, that to me is the most important thing. All right then, my love. May God bless y'all always. Again, please take care, everyone. Keep on doing what y'all are doing. Release that pressure, my love. Like, for real, release it. Let it go. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want nothing to do with it, and neither do y'all, because we do not deserve that energy around here. We deserve to just know that we have what we have, and then we do, because why would we not? Exactly. All right then, my love. Again, may God bless y'all always. I will see y'all next Thursday for another video. Please take care, everyone. We'll speak very soon. Bye. Nothing is ever allowed to hold you back in a reality where you effortlessly get everything that you want, even if you don't understand how these things come together. Release that pressure, even when you are thinking of these questions like how, when, why, but, all these things, they don't need to be answered. That's the best part, is that nothing out here needs to be answered, because it's just all about you. It's all about what you're doing for yourself. So why worry about unimportant things? They just have nothing to do with you or your life or your reality. And you already know that as you're continuing on strong, as you're doing what you're doing, as you're living your best life, as you have this stuff in the bag, it's only going to continue to get easier and easier and easier for you to manifest what you want. It's nothing about stress. It's nothing about feeling overwhelmed or anything like that. It's just about you knowing that it is all already done, because it is all already done. And just like that, it is literally all already done. And yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Every single day of my life, I manifest something that I want. And the reason that I do that is because I know I deserve it with peace. I know I deserve to experience these things with ease. I deserve simplicity. I want simplicity, so I have simplicity, because as someone who used to struggle so much throughout her entire life, that pain was something that was unbelievably stressful. It was just way too much for me. You know, it was too much on my mind, body, soul, everything, my spirituality. It just felt like crumbling energy, and I never deserved that, you know? And because I realized that I don't deserve that, that's why I've taken it upon myself to be so strongly committed to me having an easy life. That's why I live an easy life, is because I just don't let these things get to me anymore. I don't deserve that, but that was a choice that I made. Okay, it wasn't like someone said, all right, we're done watching, or okay, finally this episode's over, walk away, and then okay, the audience is gone, I'm good. No, it was literally everything that I was saying to myself. It was me thinking I had to get things done by the end of this week. I had to do this, I have to do that. Just live your best life and do what you want with ease anyway, because even if, God forbid, you know, like whatever, it's still manifesting. But let's say that something happens or whatever, you're not manifesting what you want by a certain time crunch, that does not mean failure. Still, somehow, even if, let's say, like, again, something like this were to happen or whatever, you don't assume it's over. You assume it still worked out anyway, okay? So it's your case scenario or something better. Literally dead ass, okay? It's not one or the other. It's not, I hope it's something better. I hope, no, you know it's something better because it's you. It has to be that way, okay? Ever since I said that it's me, why wouldn't it be perfect? It literally all became perfect because it's me. Hello, exactly. Please don't sleep on this, guys. Don't sleep on it. Y'all need to know what the tea is. I know that it might make y'all feel a little bit uncomfortable, which no, it won't, but I do understand from like a low self-esteem perspective, but we have high self-esteems here. We have high self-concepts here. We have everything that we want here. So why stress, why worry, why anything? Exactly, you won't. So don't do that. All right then, my love. May God bless you always again. Please take care, everyone. Thank y'all so much for watching today's video. It was so much freaking fun. I love y'all. Can't wait to speak again next week. Please take care, everyone. Continue doing what you're doing, and I truly intend that the people who are meant to watch this, it touches y'all's heart, because I do feel that it will. I know that it has already because I said so, and just like that, so it is. God bless again, my love. Please take care. Bye.